Well, howdy there. I thought I was going to have these Arctic docks done yesterday, but let me show you. Oh no! Oh no! Well, as you saw, there are some issues, specifically with this one. This is the issue with Tajin. Like, I don't think it's happening anywhere else. And I don't know what's causing it. We've had some ideas that maybe it's these blocks are too thin, or it could be a floating point limit for basically the Y coordinate for how high up I am in the Arctic compared to where 00 is. And when you get out onto here, you also, woo, it's all slippery, but it's kind of like there's a little lip here. You can sort of see where it kind of pops up over the ground. And then you're like standing on the ground again. Actually, I could test this with something else. So, like, specifically with Tajin, it's having a spaz. But this is the dock that's at X Fury. The main issue, I think, is like the game just doesn't like when you, the player, are at this height, this elevation, and this side of the dock, like out hovering over the water. It just doesn't like it for some reason. So just something over here is, you know, not a happy chappy. Because when I put it over this side, if I grab this, if I just shimmy it over here. Oh, same thing. What? Wait, but over this, no, when I had the Tajin dock here before, it wasn't doing it. Now it's having the same issue. So, I think probably Tajin's just a lost cause, to be honest. It was working before, and I was really hopeful. What I'm going to try and do is split out the shack, the little cabin, into its own vehicle. And then probably cut off most of this upper section of the dock and have that as a separate vehicle. And try and place them down in a way that isn't going to freak out with each other. I just want them to be somewhere here where I can walk where I can walk up the stairs and get into the building, and walk down the ramp and get onto the dock. I also got some help from Little Groove, LG Industries, helped me with just this building, or getting the fireplace in it working. So now it all works. So what's in here? There is only electricity, right? I think I got all the microcontrollers put into the chimney. There's the automatic external light. That'd be the only thing I need to transfer over from what I can see. So I'll need this thing, but I can make it a bit smaller for this purpose. I need this clock to light post. Horizontal and vertical rotation. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm just going to paste this back over an existing microcontroller. And then I need a clock and a battery. I don't even know if I need a battery, but I need a clock. L clock. Oh yeah, I put a backup heater inside. So there's a heater that's just always going, and that will mean even if it takes a while for the fireplace to start, there's at least going to be heat being produced in the building. So yeah, I can get rid of all of this can go. Which I probably want to cut it the other way. I want to cut the building out in case there are any invisible blocks. Because there are some invisible blocks. Especially down the back of this wall. It's probably fine, but it would be nice if it had some like actual seats. So that should be spawnable on its own now. So this is still going to be the Tajin dock file. And I still think it would be good for all the buildings and things to be over this side. But now I'm not going to have to do as much like positioning of things. I can just go boop, and that's where it is. Maybe not like that. That seems okay. I seem to be able to walk in and around and not have any weird hovering issues. Make sure that player damage is on because, yeah, the heating is sort of the thing that this is supposed to do. This is supposed to be in like an emergency heat and sleeping area. Alright, well that's working. So then the other thing, so back in the add-on, we just grab the dock only. I think I want this in the same kind of place, but I'm not going to have so much crap on here because I'm not trying to get rid of these rails anymore. Yeah, okay, so now I'm not scooting around. It is a little bit higher, but it could have been something to do with like this building being a part of this platform as well. So perhaps I should try and rotate this. It's still got to be, you know, around about there. Wonder if I just bring this rail across and maybe try and merge it in to here. Maybe I could do a diagonal one. Across, a little bit of diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rail, diagonal. 1, 2, 3. How many diagonals do you think? It's probably only 3. I think that is the plan. I think that is the plan. So let me check, make sure we've still got... There's no clock. I don't know what I've done with the clock. The clock handles the automatic time. Or the clock handles the automatic lights. I seem to have misplaced it. Time. Right then, so I'll get rid of this little bit of extra hanging road. From the front here, I'm going to run the ladder down maybe a little bit more. Let's say 2 more rails worth of ladder. And then I'm going to start sending this in. Actually, how deep is this? Yeah, it's quite far away from hitting the bottom. It could even be something to do with the extended height going out of build zone limits. You know, that's probably what it was. If you think about all the things you can do with an add-on, I was pushing it a little bit, I guess, by having a larger build zone. I could XML stretch some of these, but then you'd be able to go inside of it. So I think it's going to be better to just like bring it in. Do you think? What I should do is just use another vehicle. So what I'm going to do, there'll be like, this is the top section. And then I'll need to copy a little piece of this. It'd be good if there was like an extrude button, but I'm just going to run it down, make it taller. I might even make it wider. What if it was like a ridge thing? You know how I have like the pillars and they're sitting on a thing? It would make lining it up a whole lot easier if it was all just like 3 blocks bigger in every direction. So it's now 3 blocks bigger in every direction. I'm going to grab one whole layer, copy it, go down a little bit so I can actually just delete the insides. So like clicking and dragging would be okay for the straight parts, but for the wedges, you end up with all those wedges behind it, or I end up having to go to top to bottom with every single piece. So instead, if I copy this and paste it a few times, this feels like a much easier solution. Merge all these. Now I have one big extruded piece. And I can do the same thing, but now in much faster quantities, or much larger quantities. Merge all those. Rinse and repeat. I'm sure it won't need to be this tall. And then just pick one of these blocks and turn it into a flutter, and this would be Tajin Dock lower platform section. I don't know. Give it a name. Give it a name that's easy to find. Well, guess I'm going to space. It really didn't need to be that tall. It's only got to be a smidge smaller. Yeah, so now I can just kind of line it up wherever I feel like it. Much better, much easier solution. Make it static, make it invulnerable. So now we have the house with seats and lights and beds, and it's waterproof, and it has a heater, and it has a fireplace. We can get out onto here, and hopefully this doesn't change when I lower it down. I think this is going to get a bit balked because I want to move where this line is, where the grey becomes a different grey, in line with the edge of the dock. And that pushes the end of my rail segment up into the same sort of space that the dock's rail segment ends. So there's still going to be this little triangle pizza thing that you can go into. But that means all of this other end, where the rail is diagonal coming into the other way diagonal, is going to get shuffled in quite a bit. So actually this end of the first segment might just need to become an end rail. Make that an end rail, and I'll see how I go for alignment. I might need to put a wedge around the side that you can approach from. Okay, here comes the fun part. I don't need to move the house, but I need to find the Y level for this section here. I'm also going to have to move it along, I think, so that the end of it comes to the end of like the existing dock. Luckily, it's pretty easy to move that stuff with VS Code, with a code editor. Okay, so in VS Code now we've got these 3 vehicles, component types. The bad thing is it doesn't tell me which vehicle is which, so I just have to go on total guess that the middle one is the bit I actually need to move, which is the dock. I also think I've figured out if you set this first 0, and spawn transform to 0.5, or some kind of 0.5, or some kind of multiplication of 0.5. So like 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, some kind of whole, is it a whole number? No, well, some kind of 0.5 multiplication. That's how you get your alignment. That's how you get it perfectly lined up. Oh, what's going on there? Wait a minute. Now I can fall through again. I wonder if this is like alignment. Wait a minute. Let me change that to not perfectly 5.5. So now it's twisted a little bit. It's not flat. It's not. Nope. There's just something wrong with this area. Really thought I had solved it. Wait, so let's have a look at the house then. So we're back to having an issue over here. But probably seems like maybe no issue with the house. So here is fine. No, here is not fine. Possibly the only reason it's okay in the middle is because the ladder is here. It might be doing some kind of special calculation to figure out where you can stand by the ladder. In which case that is the thing we need to abuse. So I still want to have like the bridge and the platform that goes down that way. But what's going to happen is this rail will have to come backwards. It'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. probably not 5 as well. It might have to be a bit less. Might have to just be, what is that, 2? And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do an end, get rid of all this. Keeping the lamppost, and then I guess I can just put a little row of wedges. Everything is still connected. This will also mean I can get rid of the platform that was below to act as like a raised section. Man, having to simplify it kind of sucks. You know, if you do a lot of work and then you have to simplify things down, that is no fun. But if this is what makes it work... Okay. This is number 8. And I also need to cut and paste. Let me cut and paste all of this and then I'll explain. All will be revealed. Ooh. So I needed to cut and paste so that I can easily change the section, which is the main grid. Now, I have this big slab here, which is connected to the dock. This will overhang the ladder and cover up the ladder. Then there's this little piece, which will go down ever so slightly, and then it will connect to this platform, which then has the bit that actually moves. Now, I will be using small connectors, which are magnets, and they'll be placed somewhere to keep this middle section as kind of a little static thing, like it's not going to change too much. So I'm hoping I can put these in here and just quickly paint these. And then there's going to be another subgrid, which can be on hinges, I think. It'd be nice if they were just all connectors. So anyway, what I can do now, I'll try all connectors first. I take my new separated subgrid. So I want the connectors to all like slam into each other as soon as they spawn. Now this is going to be too far, but I just need to move this piece up a little bit. And I reckon I can use these friction pads. Copy this, paste that. Paste it again. I should just be able to send a constant on into those. Then I know there is a gap in here. Because this is technically a separate subgrid, and I'm not sure if a constant on is going to like going through here. But I think you can hide a microcontroller. So I need to spawn it. Spawning it's not going to do any good. I'll try just change it in the editor here. So only has to cover where the ladder goes. It's not very happy, but it works. It works because now that these are all subgrids, it doesn't care where the crappy walking place is. But it is super twisted. Super twisted. Oh no. The alternative is, it's very cool. I do actually quite like this. I just need like a subgrid that can't move. Is there such a thing? There is such a thing. It's called a hard point. God damn it. I'm just being very stupid at the moment. Okay, let's try alternative method number 2. Get rid of all these. We won't be reliant on connectors if I do hard points, which is good, because hard points or connectors and having weight on them and stuff is all just kind of a bit janky. Not very trustworthy. So I do this. If I go hard point, hard point, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I think I want to move. No, yes, I want to move something back. I'll move this one and then use bricks to hide everything. And then will that do it? So this is still the main grid. I do not enjoy having to jank my way to find a solution. I think I might also run into issues with the signals, and is that gonna snap into place? Or do I have to drop it down one so that I can put it directly below it? It's gonna twist away so badly. Look, I've done 9 different variations of this dock. I've also lost my original block. Must be somewhere though. Surely. No, there's just no red subgrid here. So the red subgrid is the only one that gets any like static things applied to it, any of those statuses. This is a big risk because even if it works like this one time when I'm setting it up, who knows if it's going to work every time. It might be like it might not work for someone. It might not even work for me. It didn't work for me. Okay, like I can connect hard points, but I need to remove those blocks. I mean, that's it, isn't it? Now I'm on a subgrid, so I'm not getting affected by any silly floating business. It is really far out though, isn't it? And I have to like step over all this crap, so it sort of bounces me up. The answer to that would be to put all of those down below. Oh, okay. I think I've got it. I've got it. I want all of like this bit to be more in line with where the bridge actually folds down. And then I want the piece above it to be connected to the subgrid. So you're walking on a subgrid the whole time. Which means these hard points that are causing me pain can go. Right, so that's all one grid, which I should probably check the rails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will it work? Probably not. Now all the hard points can go in here. In here. Sneaky, sneaky. Actually, I'm not going to put them in the very outsides, because then you'll see all the funny clipping bits. Be better if they're more internal. Right, so now it should all just spawn and click on, and you should be able to walk along it and nobody would know. And that allows me to push it way back in further so that there's not as big a gap between the existing dock and my bridge. The problem will be that this is now a subgrid inside. Yep. Okay, new solution. The hard point and where it's all merged in and such doesn't need to be, like, you don't need to know where those sections are. this can be part of that, and then this can be a separate subgrid. That's not an issue. So now I have only 2 hard points holding it in. So let's fix that. Let's zoop, zoop, zoop. Let's just try this. Ooh. But do you see my reasoning? How this would work? Also, what's even in here? It could be just the fact that the hard points are so high up, or the hard points are in the same level as the main, as the mesh, the ground mesh, where the dock is connecting in. So now I've got like the piece I want to connect down, and it will be inside of everything. It won't be interfering with any piece of ground. Hard points for days, which will overlap and hit each other. Clip, clap, clip, 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 clip. So now it's like connected way down in the bottom. Not way down, but you know. No. Wait, did like any of it connect? I don't think any of it connected. It just immediately fell off. This has literally been like 2 hours of me problem solving this. I think I'm on the right track though. 100% I believe. Number 9 was the closest, and the only real issue was that you're walking over the little gap of the hard point. What if I get rid of the middle section of it? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to compromise with that. I think, actually, I think the bump I'm impacting is this. Okay, well, what if I just try... What am I calling this add-on? This is Tajin, so I still need to add the shack, which has disappeared. Oh, I was going to decorate it. Damn it. So now it's here, it's working. I just need to position it as close to the dock as I can. So I've just XML edited. God damn, you stupid friggin'. So that's there. And now all I've got to do is figure out height. There is a little bit of like janky jank. I probably could put some support pieces under here, and that might try and help it. You know what? I could do more hard points. You know what? As long as I'm not cutting into those paint blocks, I'm happy to put more hard points on. So now I've got an extra 2 hard points to paint these brown, and like another supporting piece below it. Hopefully it won't. Stupid ass game. Hopefully. Oh, the X value changed. It's definitely like pulling itself away there. Also, why is that grey? Or is that just the colour in the shadow? 1 hard point? 2 hard point? Twisting. Not twisting so much. So the hard points are like my way of really permanently locking it, but they are obviously letting it twist away a little bit. So I'm trying to think of other ways that I can connect 2 subgrids without upsetting anyone. And I think this is going to be it. So there's just hinges, more hinges. Oh, that's gonna... Ugh. Yeah, it's still twisting away. I don't think there's really anything I can do about that. There's just so much weight. It's all just weight off pivots and things. At least it floats real well on its own. One other trick. Let's try another trick. Let's just keep going until I'm out of tricks. You know that wheel? Because if it's twisting, it must be like bending down or something. Right? That would only make sense. There must be a segment back in here that I can cut out. And it looks to be, yep, uneven. A wheel should fit in here. And merged onto the platform part. You know, it's kind of sad that the best feeling you can get is when you unjank yourself out of the jankiest thing. You know, the game's just so messed up. If you can overcome the jank, you just feel amazing. So anyway, now I've got to move it down so there's no little ridge here. And I think it might be... Please before. Wait, now it's all crap again. What's going on here? Wait, is that wheel in there? Wait, it's not in here. What happened? It like unselected the one I put on it? I'm having real issues with it tonight where the game keeps moving my thing back way the hell off. Okay, so the wheel definitely fixes it. Okay, I'm very certain, with many certainties, that the ladder has some kind of extended hitbox above it, and the little bump. So there's a bump on the ladder, and there's a bump on top of that wedge. So I can nearly perfectly line up the Y value. It's like 0.4. And now the other thing is I just need to try and get to a point where I'm like far enough away from the ladder that you won't impact it. This rail, like I want to go further across, but I don't want you to be anywhere near the ladder. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm getting stuck on the ladder at all. I don't think I'm touching the little bump on the ladder. It's a little bit lower. The platform here is a little bit lower than the dock. Enough to see that step. Like, it's not a head bobble step. There's a little bump step. But generally, I think that is it. That is it. Yes, okay. You're like, screw this ladder. So, actually, I need to extend my cover-up job. Why can't we just live in peace and harmony? No! You took everything from me! Man, it's very unhappy about me doing this, by the way. Stormworks is having an absolute fit. Yeah, it really does not like this. So what's going on here is we've got one main grid here, just covering up the ladder, because you can get kind of stuck in this corner, because the ladder is a piece of crap. There's a nice little cutout pokey-yardy thing covering the ladder, so you can't interact with it. Then we've got a little support structure, which kind of looks a bit dog, but, you know, what are you going to do? So then this is a subgrid. Subgrid number 1. Subgrid number 2. Subgrid number 3. And the main grid is like merged to crap inside the dock mesh. Could go a little higher, actually. To probably, if I brought it right up, it might be able to hide the ladder completely. But I'm sick of this. I think it works. Let me chuck it on nighttime. All the lights come on. Nice and glowing. It's all spaced out. Everything is done. This is it. I think I don't care anymore. I'm going to do a little bit of decoration on... It's me, I'm a ghost. I'm going to do a little bit more decoration on the cabin. Then just plonk it down separately inside this add-on. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be starting a new career mode. And I'm going to load it up with Zizzos. It's going to be the Zizzo Better Career Experience. So thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.